Zed, 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 Zov, Zov, Zed, Zov, Zov, it is Zed. Welcome to Sea Thunder, where I talk about the Z and the Zed. And in this episode, we will be covering Zov bombing. I'm going to be teaching you about Zov bombing. I'm going to tell you what it is, what it's for, how you do it, how you perfect it, and yeah. Zov bombing is the action of destroying airfields in top tier sim. What does destroying airfields do? It prevents enemy players from spawning in the airfield you've just destroyed. And this opens a whole lot of possibilities. First of all, if you destroy all airfields and all the enemies die, they will be completely unable to respawn and you will win by default. That's already a huge thing you can do. But also, the other thing you can do with Zov bombing is leaving one runway and just spawn camping the fuck out of it, because that's the only one that can spawn from, and you can just spawn camp over and over and over and over again until they all leave and you win by default anyways. So, how do you get around to blowing up airfields in sim, right? You need a specific weapon system that will allow you to release a payload safely, repeatedly on the runway from standoff range. And of course, we have that in the game. It's glider bombs, and the Su-34, aka the Zov bomber, has exactly those, and it has a very large payload of these in the form of 6 grams and 1 Fab 3000 UMPK. And all it takes is 4 completely successful passes to blow up one runway. The first step to Zov bombing is spotting all the runways, because on most maps apart from Spain, the runways are unspotted at first. And so how you can do that is with some kind of bug that lets you spot every single runway as you're spawning in. It just blinks for like half a second and you're able to see where each runway is precisely for that half a second. And once you know where the runways are, you're able to fly over them at like 10,000 meters where the AA can't shoot you, and they'll help you spot the runways on the map. And once you've spotted the runways, you can use the map, zoom in on it, and place a target point to bomb the runways. But sometimes it's kind of fucky. Like the map won't zoom in properly. You won't have a very accurate drop, so it's not always the best thing to use a map. And so you have to use mission bombing target. Mission bombing target is this keybind that lets you swap between different bomb points. And so if you're not able to properly zoom in on the map, well, you just use this keybind, and so you just keep swapping mission bombing targets, and usually you get a feel for it. Mission bombing target 10, 4, and 0 are runways usually, but you just kind of have to use the camera and just kind of see where it's pointed at to kind of get a feel for it and know when you're targeting a runway. And of course, it's easier when there's no clouds and you can clearly see it. But like you can target runways without having spotted them on the map using this keybind. So once you finally put your target point on the runway, you need to drop your glider bombs. So what are the launch parameters of these glider bombs? So first of all, the Grom has a Mach release speed of Mach 1.4, so that's pretty nice about it. You can drop them from fast, like you can drop them, unlike other bombs where you need to slow down, you can just go Mach 1.2 and drop them. So you kind of want to climb to 7,000, 8,000 meters, and then you just kind of want to drop it from 60 kilometers. So you want to drop it like one by one, because if it gets shut down, you don't want the whole like 6 grams getting shot down in one go. So you're gonna grummer, right? And then you do a pitch up maneuver. So you just pitch up into space to slow down, because the UMPK, the next bomb you're gonna drop, has a Mach release speed. So you need to slow down, pitch up, drop it, and then you just egress down because you're like very vulnerable in this high altitude, very not maneuverable. So you just want to run away, get some speed, go back to the deck, and then RTB, do it all over again. So another tip that I can give you to drop these bombs is to look at the countdown on your HUD at the bottom left. It's a really good indicator. You kind of want it to be below like 130, below 130 seconds is pretty much your drop range for these glider bombs. And so yeah, that's a very good indicator. Usually it's every time, unless they get shut down, of course. Well, zomb bombing is extremely effective. It's kind of not when you're on your own, right? Because you just don't have enough bombs to just blow up all the runways in a quick enough manner, right? So you're gonna want to have friends, have people to zomb bomb with you to blow up the runways like infinitely faster and just be way more effective at doing this, right? So you just want friends, you want to fly around with your friends, zomb bomb, blow up all the zov. It looks really cool. It's really fun, even though it may not look it. You're just bombing. The next part is what gets really fun, and it's still just like LARPing. It can be fun sometimes. You can get cool screenshots, cool clips like that. Have some good fun. And yeah, so if you're in any sim Discord servers like Nimballs, Nimball Target, Squish Face has a server too. Usually you can just ask around. People know about this. You'll be met with zomb bombers to have fun with, do some silly stuff, land on a carrier, because why the fuck not, right? It's just funny. Miserably failing to do so. Just some laughs for friends, right? To make friends with the zomb bomb. Deliver this off. Now that you know all about the bombing part of zomb bombing, I'll tell you about how you can fight a bomb, defend yourself, shoot down players in the zomb bomber. So this is a plane that has some very glaring weaknesses in the PvP side of things. Like, of course, the main one is visibility. Your entire right half of the screen is completely covered up by your co-pilot. So you can hold hands with him, but he kind of blocks all of the view. But so what you want to do is to just have keep the notch just towards your left side, so you can keep your eyes on the enemies shooting at you. So while you're notching, while you're vertical notching, you're just doing a loop. Keep your enemies to your left so you can see them. And then you have a very good radar. You have good missiles too. R-77's no joke. And the ACM mode is very powerful. Just put on the tall box ACM mode, and you're able to very quickly lock onto the enemy and kind of blow them up with an R-77 after you notch their missiles, right? So you see this guy just notches shit, point blank R-77. He's not dodging this shit. He's just dead. It pulls in. MM would never do that shit, and he's down. So I'll go over a few other examples of what this plane can do. Like, of course, like some easier stuff is, just after you've dropped your bombs, you can just go and kill people with your R-77 because you're in a good position to just fire them down on people and shoot them down. And if you die, it's actually a good thing if you die, because you'll just resupply faster. You won't have to RTB, and you can drop your next load of bombs quicker on the runways. So yeah, what you kind of want to do after bombing is to fire a bomb, right? We're not zombers. We just fly, bomb, fly, bomb. No, we have weapons, we have missiles, we have a good radar. We make use of it, right? This is what I'm teaching you. Blow up the enemies with your missiles. Like a fighter, because you're a fighter bomber. So blow up that guy. That was pretty easy. Just shoot the top down R77 down on him. And then you can of course do some more sneaky stuff. You got a targeting pod. You can IFF people, like this is an F2. It's an enemy. So we're just gonna sneak up on him, fire the R73 and just blow him up the easy way. You never knew it was coming. It's just like, this plane can do stuff in PvP. It's just a bit of a boat too. It's not that bad. So here's a different example. I'm getting shot at by 2 people. And so we're gonna go into the notch. But as you can see, I went in the wrong direction. So I just cannot see shit right now. So what you're gonna do is just barrel roll around and then put it on the right side. And then, you know, it gets all the way. This is what I meant by putting the notch on your left side. So you can still see what's shooting at you. And then, you know, what are we gonna do now? We're just gonna lock it with ACM instantly because it's really fucking good. Fire a missile and kill another guy. So if you are unfortunate enough to merge with someone, this is where the glaring issues of the plane get even worse. I'm merged with an F-16 here. I don't know where he's at, so I'm just kind of avoiding trying to get a look at him. I just can't, but eventually we're gonna see him. And so the flight mode of this thing is really bad. The main thing is the compression. If you're above 900, it does not pull. So you need to turn on manual control at those speeds so you can pull and get a bit slower. And then it rates bad, but it's not unusable. It's not an F-111 or anything like that. It's a fighter bomber. It can still somewhat hang. This is an F-16C, and we're like, I guess he's doing horrible. He's doing a horrible job at shooting me, but I'm able to finally like get nose on kind of, and we're gonna take this head on, take every shot you have, hold the trigger down, get his wing off. Now this is where the magic happens. This is where the fun begins. This is where the Zov is delivered. Delivering the Zov, what is it? It's simply the spawn camping the fuck out of the last runway part. See, like, remember what I told you about bombing 2 out of 3 runways? Like, we're gonna bomb runway 4, runway 10. Why are we gonna bomb these ones? Because they're on the side, they're easier to bomb, and most importantly, it's just simpler to spawn camp the middle runway because there's no map borders around it, so you can fly wherever you want without getting map bordered and just blow up people on the runway. And that's where it gets really, really funny. So the main thing about spawn camping, right, is not getting blown up by air defense, because it's just stupid. You don't want to do that. The runway air defense is very, very easy to defeat. They have a max altitude, like if you're above 5,000 meters above ground, this is important. The Rolands cannot hit you. They cannot hit you. The missiles simply just explode below you and you don't get hit. So you just stay above 5,000 meters and you dodge all the Rolands. But also they have a giant blind spot above their radar, directly above them. So if you stay directly above the airfield, the Rolands cannot engage you at all, and you have to just like drop down to get shot at by the gun AA. So don't get shot down by Rolands. It's stupid. Next up is the greatest spawn camping weapon system of the game, the KH-38MT, the missile that may not actually exist. It's so good, it's almost disgusting. It has insane range. It can kill people in the air because it's just so fast. And yeah, so it's a very powerful missile. It's not gonna kill everything. It doesn't have a proxy fuse, so it can get dodged quite easily. But here are some keybinds that you need to know how to use for the KH-38. So that's in theory, but how do you do that exactly all in practice? Well, we'll be going over some malicious clips of how I do it. So here we're approaching a runway and we're pitching up. We look at our altitude. We're at 6,000, 7,000. The Rolands just cannot hit me here. They cannot do anything. They're completely powerless. And we just lock onto his dude. Shoot a missile. So you can tell on the graph, This is where we're at. We're just outside of the cone. We're too high up. We can't get hit. We cannot die. It's just as simple as that. Unless a predator comes up and shoots me, of course. That's just what happens. But the Rollins cannot kill me. So we're just above the runway now, almost, and we're just shooting missiles down on people, locking the K-38, firing, and hopefully blowing these guys up. So now we're directly over it, and watch our altitude drop. We got one. We're gonna try and shoot another. So yeah, weapon lock. This is the keybind you need to use. Just shoot down this guy. Use the R-73 on, I think this is a bot, but whatever. Just shoot everything off, and surely you'll kill people. But actually, like, take a look at the altitude now. We're below 5,000. We're within engagement range of the Rollins, but we're in the blind spot. We're in the radar blind spot. They can't shoot us. I don't really know why, but they can't, because we're above them. So then we just come back around, fire another R-73, fire the missile, blow them up. Boom, he's dead. You just loop over the runway. Like, it's just so easy, right? It's really easy once you get into this position, but you're quite vulnerable to enemy players. So I don't think this is the most practical spawn camping method. So side stab here helps us point our target point at the runway, and here we actually get a triple kill, which is actually a quad kill. 1K straight blew up all these dudes. That was the one from the trailer, from the teaser, I mean. And then, you know, we're out. We don't have R-73, so we're just gonna kill ourselves by strafing the runway, right? It's boom, 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 boom. And see how the Rollins just haven't shot me one time. It's just the gun that can hit you at this angle. So we're gonna take a look back at our Fury here. We're just in that blind spot where the Rollins can't look at you. You're just immune. You're invincible. But you die to a gun AA, of course. We're just sitting above the runway here again. And I just kind of want to show that doing this kind of loop is not really the play, because you're like, most of my time isn't spent shooting down on these guys. It's mostly keeping myself out of the gun AA range and looping back and forth, and I don't have my nose on target long enough, so people are actually able to take off below me here, and I can't really do too much about them. So what you should be doing is staying out of the AA range and just raining KH-48s from outside of the AA bubble instead of just doing these loops. So I would have footage to show you, but nobody fucking plays this game anymore, so I don't have anything to show you. I ran out of footage. This was Z Thunder. It is Z. Deliver the Zav. Z Z Z Z Z Z.